Hello and welcome to the latest podcast episode. This is, I'm having to look at my notes just to make sure I get the right number. So this is episode 9 of season 5. Now, you might remember back to May when I have had my very first podcast guest and I chatted to Ben about all things Tough Mudder because I had a Tough Mudder coming up in September. And it is my pleasure to welcome Ben back for another chat because I actually only have 5 weeks-ish to go and I'm quite excited about it now. So without further ado, let's get Ben in. Hi, Ben.
Hello. Hello. Thank you for having me.
That's very welcome. Welcome to the podcast. So I was just saying since May was the last time we chatted. In May, I was a little bit terrified, probably. Now I'm actually quite excited. I've learned a bit more, spoken to more people. So it's good that we can get this opportunity to have another chat. So first of all, since we've spoken in May, how many Tough Mudders have you now completed this year?
So I can't remember. I think when I had spoken to you, I had already done Finsbury Park for the year. So that would have been my sixth event. So since then, well, I'm now on 10. I'm very proud of my times 10 headband. If you're watching, you can see it. It's beautiful.
That's a fabulous achievement.
10 full Tough Mudders, and then obviously the half, the 5K, and all the little ones as well.
Yeah. And then have you done some volunteer shifts this year as well?
Yep. So I've done two volunteer, I think. Yeah, 2 volunteer shifts so far this year, and then I've got another 2 coming up.
Amazing.
At London South, yeah.
And so out of the ones that you've done this year, do you have a favourite venue, or do you have a favourite challenge out of those ones that you've completed?
I don't know. This year's been a bit different for me because normally I only do the local events. And this year I've travelled like nearly 1,000 miles to do Tough Mudders so far this year. So the Midlands event was really cool for me because that was a 2-day event, so it was Saturday and Sunday, and they also had Europe's Toughest Mudder overnight. So that's the competitive event that runs from 8 p.m. until 8 a.m. It's just constant 5-mile laps, just keep going and going and going. So I drove up there on the Friday, camped on the Friday, ran on Saturday, volunteered overnight to help with Europe's Toughest Mudder, and then ran again on the Sunday. And one of those days was fancy dress as well. I think we did the fancy dress on the Saturday. I was dressed as Sonic the Hedgehog. And the course was amazing. It's the first time I've been there. And it's the first time I've done a Tough Mudder like back to back on the same day. I've done back to back weekends, but I've never done back to back days. So yeah, that was incredible. And there's a lot of cool features that they implemented on the course because using the natural terrain. So I've disappeared on my screen. Am I still there on yours?
Oh yeah, no, you've completely disappeared.
Am I back now?
Oh no, you're back now. That's okay. I don't know what happened there. Technical hitch.
Yeah, so at Midlands, I think my favourite obstacle wasn't really, well, it was an obstacle. It's called Creek Crusade, and it's literally you're just wading through a river, but the river's got like a foot, maybe 2 foot's worth of silt in it, and it was just really entertaining because it's something I hadn't done before. So I think that was probably my favourite there. And then my most recent event was 2 weeks ago, and that was at Southwest, which is in Paddington in Gloucester near Bath. Again, that was the first time I've been at that as well, and that was a really, really flat course. There was like next to no hills, which is a different. Tough Mudder love a hill, so it was different. Not having the hills, but again, that was a really good event, and that was for the first time there. I ran in the morning, I volunteered in the afternoon, whereas normally I'd run on the Saturday and like volunteer on the Sunday, or vice versa. So yeah, lots of different stuff for me this year. It's really exciting. I've really enjoyed it.
Oh, that's brilliant. It just goes to show that no matter how many you do, there's always another layer that you can enjoy that you haven't already experienced.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so you mentioned a couple of the obstacles there, and over the couple of episodes that I've talked to yourself and Michelle about Tough Mudder, we have covered probably the most well-known, I would say, obstacles. So we've talked about Arctic Enema, we've talked about Funky Monkey, we've talked about Mudderhorn quite a lot, and the electric one we've kind of talked about. But I am quite aware that when we do the Tough Mudder in September, there's 31 obstacles. So maybe it'd be fun to talk about maybe 5 others that we aren't normally talking about that we will get to experience.
So it does depend on depends per course. I think they guarantee a minimum of 28 obstacles and a maximum of 34. I want to say.
Okay.
So it'll be somewhere in the ballpark of that. And again, the obstacles vary from location to location. So we're doing London South in Faygate. And I think London South, they seem to have free reign. So some of the courses Tough Mudder have like restrictions. So they can't dig holes because it damages the ground. Blah, 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 blah. They can't put certain things in because of the restrictions on the course. Whereas they seem to have quite a good free reign at London South. So you tend to get obstacles that have, like, for example, one year they had Walk the Plank, which was like a plank 15, 20 foot in the air that you walked off the end of into a huge, like, water, like into a big pool full of water that was obviously muddy and brown. But in some locations, like, they wouldn't be able to dig that giant hole. So it's quite cool. So you'll see lots of different things. One they had last year, which was really good, was called Sliding Dirty, which was a 40-foot slide that you just sort of free fall. It was at one event this year, and I'm not sure if it'll be coming back or not, because it's still in like the design stage, so they're like finessing it. So it's made an appearance once or twice, but I don't know if it'll be there for sure. But that one is really, really good. Actually, yes, I went on that one once, and it was brilliant. One of my favourite obstacles, which not a lot of people like, but I seem to really enjoy it, is cage crawl. Okay. So this is, you're almost in a trench of water. It's probably, if you were to sit down, it'd probably come up to your nipples, I guess. So it's not particularly deep, maybe 1.5 foot, 2 foot.
Yeah.
And over the top of this trench, it's got like Harris fencing, which is like the metal fencing you see like around building sites. And the idea is you go on your back and you pull yourself along using the cage. But the gap between the cage and the water is like 2 inches. So you're there, like water's above, your ears are underwater, and it's lapping at your nose and your mouth whilst you're pulling yourself along. And because you're upside down, you can't see how far you've got to go either. So I like that one. I don't know why I like that one so much, but I really enjoy that one. Another one that I also really enjoy is Augustus Gloop. I think it might be my favourite. I don't know. The problem is there's so many, and it depends how I'm feeling on the day to which one is my favourite. But Augustus Gloop is very much like Willy Wonka and Chocolate Factory. So when Augustus Gloop obviously gets stuck in the big tube in the film, so in Tough Mudder, you climb over this like into like a above ground pool, I guess, which is maybe, I don't know, 2 foot deep, and they've got huge pipes in front of you with ladders inside them, or they had cargo nets at some point as well. So it depends how they're setting the obstacle up.
Yeah.
But they've got like fire hoses at the top of each pipe, like firing water down on you. And the idea is to climb up the tube and out the top. It's quite straightforward. It's not particularly demanding, but it's really, really good fun. Like, the water really does hit you. It is like a proper fire hose, and I really enjoy that one. What else have we got? Electric Eel was mentioned, I think, before. Are there any that you have seen on? Because I know they're posting a lot on Facebook and Instagram. Anything that you've seen that you're unsure about, or obstacle you think you've seen but you're not sure what it is? Because honestly, there's like 30 odd obstacles, and I couldn't pinpoint every single one.
Yeah, I don't actually know, because they do tend to share the same ones over and over. Yeah. I have seen the one that's just like muddy hills that you just get muddy.
So that's Mud Mile. So I think you spoke to Michelle about Mud Mile. Mud Mile is mad. It does, again, it depends on the venue, but they're all similar. So they are like, I don't know, if you were to stand in the trench, it's like the mound in front of you is 6 foot tall. So you're basically going up 6 foot, down 6 foot, up 6 foot, down 6 foot. But in each pit, there's like thigh deep muddy water, and you can't grip anything, and it's really slippy. So that's always a really, really enjoyable one. I like that one a lot. I'm trying to think of another one. Another good one, actually. Go on, sorry,
Yeah.
carry on.
No, I was just going to say, I like the sound of that one because that's fun. Because a lot of the ones that they share more or you hear about always sound quite challenging and like real mind over matter. Whereas actually knowing that there's some that are just, like Michelle said, embrace your inner child and get muddy and just go for it. That's nice to remember that actually the majority of it is fun. And maybe there's one or two that will challenge you.
I think it's all fun, to be honest. Like, it might not feel fun the minute you're doing it,
Yeah.
but straight after, like Arctic Enema, I know we talk about it a lot, but Arctic Enema is horrible. But when you get out of it, you feel incredible. Like, I don't know what it is. Like the ice water, just like it's like, whoa, let's go again. It's like having 4 shots of Red Bull. And yeah, like whilst you're doing it, not fun, like at all. And the electric shocks again, not fun at all. But as soon as you're out of them, you're on that like adrenaline, and you're buzzing. So I think everything is fun, but maybe not in the moment. I thought of another one which was good as well. Crybaby. Crybaby is a one that I really enjoy. It's no good if you've got asthma. I think it's one to steer clear of. But basically, you're on your hands and knees crawling through. I don't even know how you describe it. You're crawling under basically a tarpaulin, I guess, but it's pitch black in there, and they're pumping what they call tear gas into the under the top. So you're basically your eyes are stinging a bit. It's coughing, and lots of people like get really worked up before that one. So it's a good one to encourage and help people through it. I really enjoy that one.
Amazing. There's just so many, isn't there? That's the thing. It's kind of difficult to remember.
It is really difficult, and some of them are like they're not great. Like there's always a couple that are least favorite. So one that in the community is, it's almost like a meme of how much everyone hates it, but it's always there. Is Devil's Beard, and Devil's Beard is just some cargo nets, and sometimes they've got like weights on them, or they've got like old gym mats or punch bags or something just to weigh them down a bit more, and you're just on your hands and knees crawling under a cargo net. And sometimes you're going up a hill, sometimes you're going down a hill, sometimes you're going through mud, and like that is an obstacle. But again, it's like everyone goes, "Oh, not Devil's Beard." So they're not they aren't all massive rigs. Like they're not all going to be like Loch Ness Monster, where you're in a huge pool with rotating metal things, or you're not climbing up a slide. Sometimes they are like really straightforward, like climb under the cargo net, do some monkey bars. But even then, like they have their own challenges. Like Devil's Beard, the challenge is not to be really sad when you're going through it because Devil's Beard's there. Like some of the monkey bar ones, the challenge is just to get to the other end, and I quite like that because if you, like me, are someone that keeps going back to Tough Mudders, say I don't get to the end this time, I'm like, right, next time I'm going to do that. And it gives me like a further challenge each event, which is nice as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So is there a obstacle that you have not done and so you've tried and then gone, oh, actually, no, I can't do that. And so missed it. But now in retrospect think, oh, I really wish that I could have done that and have another go.
So the only obstacle that I've ever like looked at and then made the conscious decision not to even attempt it was walk the plank. And I really wish I had. At the time, I couldn't swim very well, and I wasn't very confident in the water. And like it wasn't a big swim, but I got in my own head because it was like towards the end of the run, and I was tired. And I climbed up, looked over the edge, and climbed back down. And then watched my friend do it, and it looked like great fun. But I was like, I'm not doing it, and it hasn't been at any events ever since. And I really wish I'd done it because since then since that event where I had it. Obviously, I've done triathlon, so I've learned to swim properly, and I'm confident in my swimming now. And I'd really like the opportunity to be able to have another go at it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one, Funky Monkey. I always try it. I've never got to the end, but that isn't through not wanting to do it. That's through either slipping or not having enough strength or being tired. Or there's always but every time I give it my best. And then another one that I don't think will make an appearance anymore, but did at the time was an obstacle called Kong. Which was monkey bars, or like a rotating barrel with like monkey bars on it. And it was really tall, and it had an airbag underneath it. But I think they've stopped it because they were getting too many injuries in the airbag, unfortunately, or the airbag popped. I can't remember. Either way, it probably won't be back, that one. But hopefully we'll see Walk the Plank at some point.
Yeah, or maybe we'll get to see that in September. You never know.
Yeah, if we get Walk the Plank in September, you will be unlucky. Like, it'll be well fun for you, but seeing you conquer Mudderhorn, hopefully sliding dirty and walking a plank, I will.
Yeah,
It'll be amazing. We'll get you through it.
I'll need an extra headband for doing all that, I think.
It's all right. You can come back another time and get another headband. They do it on Sunday
Yeah,
as well. So
that's true. That is true. So I want to talk to you about the Tough Mudder community, because obviously we know, like, I haven't even done the Tough Mudder yet, but I have had some lovely messages from people that do them, that people that know you, that just slide into my DMs on Instagram and are like, if we see you, we'll come and help you. I can really feel that the community of Tough Mudder is massive and supportive, and it just seems lovely. What does that mean for you? Like, what's the community about for you?
the community for Tough Mudder is everything for me. I don't think if the community didn't exist as it does, I don't think I'd have done more than one Tough Mudder, maybe two, but I wouldn't keep coming back and back and back. Like the first two events I did with friends, and they enjoyed it, but they didn't like get the bug like I did. So then I did my first two events with my friends. My third event I did on my own, and it was the first time at a new venue as well. And I started on my own, and I finished with a huge team of people. And since then, like, I've met lots of friends. Like you say, you've had Michelle on. I've done it with huge group. Like, we've done it with Ben in the wheelchair twice now, and he'll be doing it again at the event that we're at as well. And I've made like more friends than I can count on my fingers just through Tough Mudder, and I speak to them outside of Tough Mudder as well. But they're always there, and like they never. You if you want to go to an event, for example, and say you can't afford the ticket or you can't get there because you can't travel, there's always someone that goes, "Oh, I'll give you a lift," or "Oh, I've got a discount code," or like if you want to be there, they will get you there regardless of any situation. Like, and then once you're on course, like you can walk around the course, you can run around the course, whatever you're doing, you're always giggling around the course. Like Michelle said, it's like being a child again. It's just brilliant. And the whole community of Tough Mudder, like you said, there's people messaging you, like the volunteers, like lots of people have like hit over 100 volunteer shifts this year. Just literally, like, I think without the volunteers and the community, if it was just like, oh, you rock up to Tough Mudder, you do a Tough Mudder, you go home, and it was all paid people, there was no volunteers, it will be a completely different event. Like the community, like you get there, you're queuing, and you see like, oh, I've seen him, I'll say hello to them, say hello to them. Like Matt Brook, the director, or Giles will come over, and they both come and say hello to everyone, and you really feel like you're part of almost like a big family, as opposed to just turning up and paying for an event.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is a massive thing.
And that's one of the reasons that we wanted to volunteer on the Friday, because Tough Mudder the community is such a big, it's like the center of everything. It just felt wrong turning up and joining in without having done the volunteering first. So I'm actually really looking forward to doing that before the Tough Mudder itself.
Yeah, I think you'll really enjoy the volunteering, and you're volunteering on camping as well.
We are,
and it tends to be the veterans of Tough Mudder, like the veterans, I suppose, the ambassadors. Like a lot of the like faces you'll see regularly are camping, so you will get to meet lots of people that have done it before, and they're all really friendly and they're all really chatty. So you'll almost feel like by the time you finish a volunteer shift, you'll feel like you know everybody already. And then on your Saturday when you're running, you'll go, "Oh, I saw him. I was chatting to him last night. I checked him in for camping." Like, and then maybe you'll be halfway up hero walls and you'll go, "Oh, I'm a bit stuck." And then suddenly someone that was camping you were talking to yesterday is pushing your bum and getting you over, and like you'll be like, "Oh, that's fine." It's brilliant. And I think camping check-in will probably be quite a good one to get started in as well, because it's not like hectic, but you'll still meet a lot of people, and like you say, you feel like you're part of the community.
Yeah, definitely. It's exciting. I'm looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it. So
Honestly, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to running this one with you as well. I've run it like I've done runs on my own. I've run in big teams. I've obviously Vicky, my wife. I've run with her a couple of times, but she's always been with me with other friends as well. I've never done a run where like you're a complete newbie. Like Vicky's, I think her first run was my third event, so she'd been a spectator twice, so she knew what she was getting into.
Yeah.
Whereas you've never even seen a Tough Mudder course. Like all you've seen is internet stuff. So I'm
Yeah,
really
exactly.
excited to get you round as a complete newbie. And
Yeah.
at the same time, my friend Chris and my friend Ben, who Ben was in the wheelchair that we've been in the team with, they will also
Yeah.
be running. We'll probably see them on course. Ben will be in his wheelchair, and Chris will be helping out, obviously. And there's a big team of them doing it. It's Ben's 5th run and Chris's 50th run.
Wow,
And to
that's
like
amazing.
to make a show of that, they're turning Ben's wheelchair into a sleigh, and everyone in the team that is helping run will be dressed as a reindeer.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, I can't wait to see that. That's
Yeah,
going to be so good.
so it'll be really, really good. And obviously, we'll probably see them on course, and we'll definitely see them on course, even if we're waiting
Yeah.
at the end or whatnot. So I'm really looking forward to that as well.
Yeah. Graham and I are definitely coming with our beginner energy. So our energy is going to be right up there because it's going to be pure adrenaline. It'll be fun.
Yeah, that's exactly what we want.
So if people are listening to us today and are thinking, oh my God, I really want to get in on this, are there tickets available still for this one?
Yeah, so there's tickets available for the one we're doing is London South. When does this podcast go live? This weekend?
Yes.
Yeah, so London South will still be available. There are tickets available for Saturday and Sunday. You can do 5k, 10k, and a 15k. This is the last opportunity to do a 5k or a 10k because next year they are scrapping the 5k and 10k and going back to 10 plus miles. That's about 15k plus.
Yeah.
There are also events now. I think there's 4 events now in Germany. There's an event in Paris, and there's an event in Malta. All of which you can buy tickets for, and then they've just released most of the tickets for 2024, so next year as well.
Amazing.
So there's loads of events all over the country, or countries. In the UK, I don't think there's any events in Wales, but there's an event in which is this weekend, which is Northwest, which is like Manchester way, so it's not far really for North Wales. And then South Wales, you can just cross the border for Southwest because that's literally like 10 minutes from the Severn Bridge.
Yeah.
And there's an event in Scotland as well. So I think Scotland's only a Saturday event coming this year, but most of them run over the weekends. So there's lots going on.
Yeah.
Obviously, Europe stuff for Smudder and stuff as well. If you do want to have a go, I've got a Tough Mudder ambassadors code you can use, which I'm sure will be in the show notes below.
Absolutely.
Or go and follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is there in the corner, which is at Ben Gets Fit. So yeah, I've got ambassador codes, which will get you. Oh, I can't remember. 15 or 20% off.
20%? Yeah, I was
I
going to say,
can't remember. It's
something
15
like
or 20.
Yeah,
But you save a nice chunk of change. And yeah, it helps me out as well. So go and sign up.
There's
and
no
volunteer
excuse
as well
not to
because you
get
get free
involved.
stuff if you volunteer. Definitely go and volunteer, even if you're not sure about volunteering. Like you get a T-shirt, you get a hat, you get a patch, you get if you do a half day volunteering, you get a 60% off code, and if you do a full day volunteering, you get 100% off code. So it's always worth doing. So like if you go, oh, I really want to do a Tough Mudder, but I can't afford it because the tickets are quite expensive, go and volunteer the day before or volunteer the day after, and they'll reimburse you for the price. So there's always a way to do it. There's space across the country well enough that they're never really that far away, and there's always a way to get in. So you've got no excuse really.
No,
if I can get a man in a wheelchair around twice, you can.
Yes.
We can even walk it if you have to.
Yeah, absolutely. No excuse at all. So if you're listening and you want to join in, use Ben's code. It will be in the show notes. Otherwise, just DM Ben or DM myself, and we can give you that code. Anything else, Ben, that you want to add that we haven't covered?
No, I don't think so. I'm just really. I love Tough Mudder. I'm well excited about you and Graham coming over and having your first go. I'm always happy to sit and talk Tough Mudder for ages. I'd be quite happy to get the map up with every single obstacle and talk you through every single obstacle. But I think we need to leave a little bit for the imagination until you actually get on course. But I'm really,
Yeah.
really looking forward to it. I think we'll do another episode maybe after Tough Mudder, and we can go through it
Yeah.
and see how you found it. Because obviously people have been listening to you build it up and like hear your nerves and stuff. So I think hearing an episode afterwards where you can go, oh, it's right, Mudderhorn was really scary, or Arctic Enema was really cold, and it does hurt when you get electrocuted. People will enjoy hearing that.
Yeah, definitely. We
Definitely.
definitely will come back and do an after episode, which will be at some
like
point
a
at the
Tough
end of
Mudder
September.
debrief.
Yeah, definitely. And
Yeah.
who knows? We might still be a bit muddy.
You'll be showering for like a week afterwards and still finding mud in all sorts of places.
Oh, that's brilliant. Thanks so much for talking to me today, Ben. I've really enjoyed that.
No worries.
And
As
I will
I.
speak to you soon. Okay.
Yep. If I don't see you before, I'll see you in September.
Yeah, definitely. See you later.
Bye.
Okay, so that is this latest episode about Tough Mudder and everything we're going to be getting up to. I really hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, I will speak to you all very soon.